Welcome everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening to everyone because we have a global audience here. Um, Hi everyone, I am Edith Wallach, CEO and founder of Empress Media, brand leadership coaching and creative company, a publisher of Courage Magazine Global. I am also an Amazon bestselling co-author of Taking the Leap from Employee to Executive to Female Founder. And with 26 years of experience in advertising, marketing, and brand strategy, I help women entrepreneurs create humanity-centered personal brands that attract high-value clients with ease and generate financial flow. My work has included collaborations with blue chip companies such as Saint-Gobain or Toyota, Mercedes, and Land Rover and all those amazing companies. But I really thrive supporting women leaders, female founders to create personal brand for them and have a courage to prosper. I read the story that courage is contagious, and that's what I am standing for with creating courageous conversations such as this one. As a leadership coach and international speaker, my mission is to empower women to build aligned brands, communicate their value with confidence, and create businesses that generate both impact and prosperity for others. I would love to welcome our amazing speakers today, and every speaker is going to be giving to you generously from bottom of their hearts. And before we start with our first speaker, I wanted to share with you my gift to you, which is a free 30-minute consultation of supporting you on your way to empowerment and as well building your business, supporting you with seeing the gap where you are at the moment, what is missing in your business, and I can create a brand that truly will attract your niche, your clients who truly want to be there for you, because you are the one who is giving to them. You are the one who is supporting them. I do have as well a transformational leadership program called She Leads, and that can definitely support women who are ready to expand their voices in leadership and create impact. This program is designed for ambitious female founders and women of vision, and this program will support you in stepping into next level of leadership with clarity, confidence, and powerful personal brand. So I will put that gift in the chat of free consultation with myself. And our first speaker, I will welcome to the stage. Let me just place quickly the link. There you go. If anybody would like to have a free consultation, I would love to welcome you. Okay, and our first speaker is Nancy.
All right. Thank you, Edith. Thank you for everything that you do for women. I love that how much you just care so much about our brands and to help us stand up and be the best that we can be by sharing your gifts and talents to move us forward and really create a brand that speaks it from our heart and speaks it out to the world. So just thank you for what you do, and thank you for this invitation to be here today. I'm really honored to be here. So thank
Thank
you.
you to saying yes to participate and being generosity.
My pleasure, my pleasure. And to everybody who's here, happy International Women's Day. I just learned from Epitol. This is our hand motion. We're holding the container. We're holding the container, which I totally love. And my name is Nancy Presser. I support women leaders who feel overwhelmed, reclaim trust in themselves. And I am just tickled to be in this room with all of you because it's you who are helping us change the world. There's so many of us now that are in businesses. We're building businesses, we're leading teams, we're raising our families at the same time, and we're actually creating change in our communities and allowing it to ripple out. And there was something going on in my head this week. Oh my gosh, that I really wanted, I was really trying to get the message. Like, what is the message? What is my heart trying to come out with this week? For you all for this day. And the thing that really touched me the most was that there was a way that women were taught how to succeed, but I don't think it's the way that we're meant to lead. And that's what I wanted to just talk about today. Um, First, I have to ask you, will you raise your hand if you entered the workforce in the 1980s or earlier? Anybody went to work in around the 1980s? Do I see anybody? Okay, thanks, Ronnie. You guys are all younger than me. It may not, it may be relevant, it may not. So um but what happened in that time, if you were working in around the 1980s or before, um we grew up in this world where we were trained to compete with each other. And it actually became ingrained in this generation of being the best, being the smartest, getting the most recognition. And when we entered into leadership, whether it's with our businesses and organizations, or even in entrepreneurship, we stepped into a system that was built way before we took leadership. And these systems were all built on competition. They are all built on scarcity. They are all built on this hierarchy. And we see that today still. And there was this unspoken rule in these systems, right? There's only room for a few women at the top. And so we learned how to survive in these systems by not rocking the boat so that we could be in the old boys club, or by climbing and doing and overworking until we got there. And honestly, what I experienced in my journey in leadership is that some of these women that I was coming across who are in leadership positions, they were hard-hearted, they were nasty, and they were all the things that I hated about having a male boss. And there was a part of us that believed in order to rise to the top, we did have to push past everyone else. And other women that we were working with, we saw them as competition instead of allies. But here's what I believe. We're not meant to do this alone, man. We're not meant to get to the top by ourselves. We're meant to lead with each other. And if you look across history, isn't that how women led? They led in villages, they lead in their families, they lead in their communities. I mean, when I look at my community, it's the women that are making things happen. It's not the men. We know how to build powerful things together. And when we gather people around we make everything work. And I know you can see that in your own family, and I know you can see that in your communities. When we bring our strengths into our leadership, something remarkable happens. Leadership becomes, I'm going to say the word, ladies, hold on. It becomes more spiritual. It becomes more compassionate. It becomes more intuitive. It becomes more empathic. And I'll just share a brief story about my leadership moment. And that came in 2021. And that's when my house and home were burnt down in a wildfire. And the morning after that wildfire, I realized everything I owned, everything that was familiar to me, everything that I held so dear was gone. All of my belongings, all of my routines, this life that I had spent years creating, it was gone. And what remained of my life now, just a few bags of stuff that was in the back of my car. And suddenly this question about life and the importance of life, it got really simple. The question is, what actually matters most now? And I stood there in that silence and I realized that the impact of the loss was something I hadn't really thought about. It wasn't that I lost my house. It wasn't that I lost these things. What really mattered most were people, were my community, my family, and the connections I'd made. And when everything else disappears in our world, the one thing that truly matters is the people that we rise with. And so if we think about leadership, think about it as a garden. You know, you can try to grow all the seeds alone in these separate beds, and you can try to guard this plant from that plant so they're not cross-pollinating, and you can protect your soil. And then your garden is competing for the sunlight coming around. But that's not how a garden thrives. Gardens thrive through an ecosystem. When our roots intertwine, when plants support each other, and then the soil becomes richer when things grow together. And that's leadership. And that's how it works. And when women collaborate instead of competing, oh my gosh, there's so much power in that. Our knowledge multiplies, our opportunities multiply, and our strength multiplies. And when women stop competing and start collaborating, there's suddenly room for all of us to grow. So I believe today, right now, there is a turning point in the evolution of women's leadership. For a long time, we were told in order to succeed, we had to prove we were strong enough to do everything ourselves. But real leadership isn't about proving we can survive alone. It's really about building something bigger than ourselves. And when I think about the most powerful female leaders that I've had in my journey, they were not the ones that guarded their power. They were the ones that shared it. They mentored me. They opened doors. They lifted up the other women around them. And that lifting created this ripple effect that went far beyond their own success. So I'd love for you, right, guys, to join me in just turning on your imagination for a moment, even if you want to close your eyes, and just imagine everywhere women are building networks of collaboration. We are sharing our knowledge about leadership. We're sharing our knowledge about finances, about healing, about intuition. We're sharing how to build lives that actually work. And imagine a world where no woman has to struggle alone. Our wisdom is shared, doors are opened, and it's where women help other women rise. Because we all know this. I'll say the cliche, girls. When one woman rises, she changes her life. But when what the woman rise together, we change the world. So today, it's International Women's Day, and I just want to leave you with just one simple invitation. I would love for you just to look around this room, put yourself in gallery view, look at the women that are beside you. Look at the women in your communities. And then ask yourself this one powerful question. How can I help another woman rise? Because I believe the next evolution of women's leadership is not going to be built on competition. It will be built on collaboration. Because we know when women rise together, it sends that ripple effect outward. It's shaping families, it's shaping communities, and it's shaping generations to come. And we all know that that is how we change our world. Thank you.
Woohoo, Nancy!
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. That was a powerful share. And that's what it is. Like, we are here to change the world. So it's not only everybody else, starting from everybody else, starting from ourselves, and starting today, not yesterday, because today matters the most. I love it. I love it so much. And probably many of you know my story about my son, how I got to like the bottom, the lowest of lowest, and then I started climbing up, and I didn't know that this was the reason to get this, learn the schools, the tools of leadership. I got the leadership tools because what was next for me, what was happening next, what I needed not only for myself but also for family and for my community, and empower other women to step into their power and courage to create amazing results. Fantastic. We have an amazing next speaker, Carrie.
Thank
Come
you,
on,
Edith.
mute, introduce yourself, and
Ha-
let us
Thank,
know
thank you
what's happening.
so, yeah, thank you so much, Edith, for this opportunity for bringing all of us women together. There's so much energy in this room. If you're not in the Zoom room, you got to join the behind the scenes in the Zoom room. And I feel the power here. And so thank you for everyone here that is in the Zoom room. um, you're activating what we are here to share, which is love, leadership, empowerment. And you're such a great leader, Edith. So thank you. And Nancy, I want to highlight how powerful that was, because collaboration is where it's at. And this is a perfect example of how collaboration works by our leader, Edith. So, what really stood out to me, Nancy, is a system that no longer fits the new structure that we're living in right now in this world of AI and this world that we're living in. And what really stood out, Nancy, was that we are the garden. We are the garden. And today I'm going to take a risk. And I'm going to not only highlight the beautiful garden that we are and that we have here, but also highlight some of the weeds that tend to come up in the garden. So for me, this personally is a risk, and one of my values is courage. So let's step into courage today, right? Today I want to, well, I'll introduce myself. I am Carrie Knudsen, and I am a transformational leadership speaker, coach, and I call myself the activator of consciousness in business and life. I also am a business coach with Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. So I went from serving tableside to serving millions online, and I've worked with thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs, and this is something that I see over and over again. I want to highlight it. Moving from overperformance to leadership presence. So there is a quiet pattern that I've seen working with the new entrepreneur and the seasoned entrepreneur. It looks like commitment. It looks like work ethic. It looks like drive, determination. If I work harder, I will achieve more. It looks like leadership, or leadership as what we've seen in the past. Some of you may be the first one up and the last one to sleep. I know I've been there too. You might have that mentality of the first one in and the first one out, like Nancy was highlighting, this leadership from the 80s and the 90s. And you might even in entrepreneurship say yes to that client that maybe in your heart you feel like might not be aligned. You may say yes to that one more responsibility, even though you feel maxed out, and the world applauds you, right? But let me ask you, at what price do we pay for this? Over performance, high achiever. In a world filled with AI, this really is no longer necessary. And we are here to balance the scales to create what the new leadership looks like. So, somewhere along the line, many of us were taught that success comes from doing more. Have you experienced that? Say yes or raise your hand. More effort, more proving, more productivity. But the truth most entrepreneurs eventually discover, overperformance may build a business, but it really builds a sustainable life and business. And the deeper truth here is that we're overperforming. And you're not meant to overperform or even perform. You're meant to be present. And being present is really the gift I see moving forward in leadership. And presence is one of the most misunderstood leadership qualities or skills in entrepreneurship, because it doesn't look like hustle. It doesn't look like exhaustion or doing more or more output, because we have AI to do that now. It looks like clarity. It looks like grounded decisions. It looks like a pause. Presence looks like when to say yes and the courage to say no. Many entrepreneurs struggle with this. I know I have, and I do. The pattern runs deep. This is a pattern that runs through our subconscious, it runs through our parasympathetic nervous system. I know I considered myself a high performer, and I still do. I realized I was a high performer when I read the book High Performance Habits by Brenda Burchard. Has anyone read that book? Back in 2019, I read that book and I was like, finally, I'm validated. I have a name for it, and I saw it as prideful back then in 2019. And the funny thing is, most high performers now aren't even aware of this behavior that is no longer sustainable. It's no longer needed in a world filled with AI. And there's a quiet conversation. If I do more, I have more. But what happens is that there's a point in the scales that is tipping that when you do more, it doesn't always create more results. So there's a hidden conversation here of not enough. Not enough success, not enough visibility, not enough clients, not enough money, not enough accomplishments. And here's the tricky part. Most of us can't see it while we're in it. It just feels like pressure. It feels like pressure to do more, to perform more, to prove that we belong and that we are enough. At the root, this is what it all is about. And we all have that common feeling, not enough. So, how do we shift this pattern? So, I have a framework. It's called notice it, name it, neutralize it. Name, notice, neutralize. So, first, we're going to notice. Notice the moment you move from presence to performance. Notice the moment you say yes, even though your heart or your body says no. Notice the move from urgency to clarity. So, awareness and noticing is always that first step of interruption. You can't change what you don't notice, right? The second part is name it. Name it. There's a term in psychology, it's called name it to tame it. When we notice the pattern, this is overperforming, or even this is performance. This is proving energy. This is belief that if I do more, then I'm going to have more. So just notice or name the pattern. Name it, you create power over it. And then you distance from it as well. It's not running the show on your subconscious when you name it. And then the third step is neutralize it. Neutralize doesn't mean quitting your ambition. It means choosing a different response. Instead of reacting, you pause. Instead of saying yes, you ask yourself, is this aligned? Is this presence? Is this mine to carry? Because leadership is not about proving how much you can carry anymore. Leadership is about knowing what not to carry. And when you choose presence over performance, everything changes. So, the leadership shift here is not force, not control, not needing to prove. It's through this leadership presence. Presence changes everything. When you lead from it, you stop reacting and you start powerfully choosing. Choose the projects that align with you. Choose the clients who respect you, your leadership, your time. Choose the space and the pace that it fosters creativity to thrive. You move from doing more or doing everything to doing what matters most. So, in closing, the future of leadership here is not being louder. It's not being more ambitious. It's not being more exhausted. The future is consciousness. It's presence. Leaders who understand their energy, who understand their deep patterns, who understand that presence is powerful and more powerful than performance. So the 3 steps: notice it, name it, and neutralize it by knowing it. Because leadership success is not determined by how much we do anymore. It's determined with how aligned we are. That's how we become more balanced. That's how we feel lighter in business, and work really becomes more meaningful and purposeful and pleasurable. And the business that you build from here supports your life that you actually want to live. Presence is more powerful than performance. And this is how we balance the scales moving forward in 2026. So I want to share lastly this quote. You probably have heard it, and I thought of it this morning. I said this is a perfect way to close this out and remind us. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. This is why it's called the present. So I want to invite everyone here, and my gift to you is joining the Envision Her private community. Envision Her is really about creating a community of collaboration, of connection, of entrepreneurs and coaches and consultants who want to redefine their leadership presence, redesign their business or career, and who want to restructure and recalibrate from this place of presence. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat, and it is a new community. So anyone that joins today is going to be a founding member of this community, and we're going to grow and build and collaborate and build this beautiful garden together. So thank you all for being the women that lead with courage. Thanks, Edith.
Thank you so much, Carrie. That was powerful. Name it, notice, and utilize it. I will remember this. Fantastic. Thank you. And the next speaker is the amazing, extraordinary, super powerful human, Abtihal Badawi. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you, buddy. Love you. Happy International Women's Day to all of you here with us in Zoom, and to all women around the world that still with us and not with us. All women that had the courage to say, I'm gonna be the first, and open the door for future generation. For all of these women, our ancestors, we are here today because of them, because of their courage, because they say, you know what? I have it in me to open that door for myself and for other women. My name is Ebtihal Badawi. I am the Director of Community Outreach and Art Wellness for OSH 360. I'm an artist, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an athletic, and I am a TEDx speaker. And I'm the founder of Building Bridges Initiative. That initiative came from my heart to the world, that I've been working on this for 6 years, and the ripple transform more than 5,000 people. And I am grateful for building bridges, because through building bridges, I met all of you. And because of building bridges, I did things that I never thought I would do before, and I had the courage to say yes. Today, before we started, I want to share my gift to you now. And it's art therapy exercise. So to all of you amazing women, get a pen and get a paper and sketch yourself. Don't draw like a portrait of yourself. It's okay if you draw a stick figure. It's okay. So I want you to draw yourself and point how you're feeling today. Like if you have a pain, if you have something heavy, where is that in your body? So first, let's do that. And now I'm going to share my gift is theta healing, meditation. There's a lot of things going on around the world. And today I said to myself, my intention, today I choose to lean into hope. So today I want you to put your hand on your heart and close your eyes and give this time to yourself, to celebrate yourself, to take a breath. So let's take a breath together. Close your eyes. Inhale for 3, hold it for 4, and exhale for 4. Feel the beat of your heart. Each beat is a gift that you're alive, that you're here to celebrate yourself and to celebrate other. Imagine there is roots coming out of your sole of your feet to the center of earth. And we ask Mother Earth to give us light, to give us energy. Imagine you're pulling this light through the roots. Swarm. That light come to your feet, go up to your legs, to your thigh, to your stomach, to your heart. And it creates a ball of light on top of your head. That ball of light is full of unconditional love. You're safe here. We're gonna travel in this ball of light. You go inside it. We go up, 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 away from where you live, up, 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 toward the sky, to where you see all the planets. Go up, 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 layers of light, dark light, light light. Then you see a golden light. You go up, 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 through the colors of the rainbow, all of them, jelly substance. You go up, up, up to color of pink. This is the color of compassion. Inhale it, swim in it, bathe in it. Then we go up, up, up. You see a window or a door. You knock and then you open. White light, whatever you believe in. We say the creator of all that is. I'm one of all that is. And we ask the creator to cleanse all our chakras, to balance it, to cleanse your aura from all negativity and things that doesn't serve you. And download you with unconditional love. If you say, if you want this, you can say yes. And place your hand on your heart. Maybe you will receive a word or a message. And when whatever is heavy in your body, we ask the creator of all that is to download you with healing and download you with everything that you need at this moment of time. Then imagine there's like a flow of water that cleanses you from everything you don't need, like a waterfall. Let's go back into that ball of light. Go through all the layers, the pink light, the rainbow, the gold light, all the layers of lights. You go through, you see all the planets, the Milky Way. You go down, down until you reach where you are. That ball of light is on top of your head. Imagine the roots coming out of your feet to the earth. We ask Mother Earth to take all the things that doesn't serve us. Place your hand on your heart. Take a deep breath and give yourself the biggest hug because you are loved. You are safe. You are beautiful. You can open your eyes. So I learned through the years that the biggest gift you give to yourself is self-love. Without self-love, You are an empty cup. You can't give anyone without self-love. You get to love yourself. Wherever you are in your journey, you get to love yourself. Whatever you did, because sometimes we look, how old am I? What did I did? What did I achieve? But just by being you, you are that gift to yourself, to your family, to the world. So self-love is essential. I learned that I was looking for love outside of me. And then I learned that I have all the love in me. And when I start loving myself, new doors start opening. And my mantra is, what else is possible? There is endless possibility. By just asking, we open new doors. I learned that by reading this book 6 times, Being You, Changing the World. It truly like opened that garden that Nancy shared. It opened that garden and it gave me clarity like Carrie shared. It really gave me clarity. Whenever we give ourselves that self-love, we open that door of clarity. And whenever that door open, more doors starts open. And I learned last year to the hard way to stop and be still by breaking my elbow. And before my Ironman race, 2 weeks before my Ironman race, and that shook me to the core because I was ready. Everything is ready. Sometimes you don't know what is the division time, like God time. You have a time in your calendar, but that's not aligned with your divine timing. So today, just I want to share with you whatever that timing is, just be in the present moment because truly, as Carrie said, the present moment is that gift that you give yourself. And I learned to have boundary and I always say yes. It's always great to say yes. It's always amazing to try new things. But I learned to ask, is that aligned with me? Is that like my heart is calling for this now? And I said no to a lot of stuff this year. It's March, but I said no to a lot of things because I get to be with me first and listen to my heart. So today, listen to your heart. Whatever it's telling you, listen to it because whatever you do, even if you just sit still, you are that gift to the world. Because just by being you, that is the gift that you can give to yourself and to the world. And by loving yourself, magic start happening around you. And by asking what else is possible, more magic comes. I want to share with you this story because we are in Women International Day. Before I end, the story is 4 years ago, the US hockey women team is playing with the Canadian team, and I wanted to celebrate with them and paint with them. No one answered. I didn't get any answer from email or nothing. So I said, I'm just gonna take the risk and go with my canvas to paint with everyone, to collaborate, as Nancy said. And they told me, okay, the US hockey team, you can paint with them because they're signing. They said, okay, that's great. What about the Canadian? They said, no, the Canadian are leaving after the game. I ask what else is possible to 8 people, and they answer me the same answer. And then the 9th person, I told him that he see people. Everyone is telling me no, but what do you think? How can I paint with them? He said, you know what? if you go at the end of the game to the glass and ask the coach whenever they finish, he say, yes, you can do it. Okay, let's do that. So I ask people, can I please, go and, stand at the seat? I raise my canvas up high as Natalie Spooner, Canadian player, coming out with her full gear on. I said, will you paint with us to build the bridge between US and Canada? Her the brush, the paint, the camera, and she painted with full gear on. And that what else is possible open doors for you. So I end with this. What else is possible for each one of us today? What magic can we create? And how can we continue the ripple to build more bridges in the world? Thank you, Edith. Thank you to all of you. Happy Women's Day.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much, After Hall, and you are such a powerful storyteller as well. So I acknowledge you for the amazing gift that you have given us today and reconnecting with our souls and truly choosing ourselves first. And so many so many and saying no to things and let other things go and just choosing yourself in that moment. And we can only choose ourselves in that moment if we quiet down, if we separate ourselves, if we put ourselves on I don't know, outdoors or in a quiet corner, just being with yourself. And only then we can hear what our heart is saying. Thank you so much for this. And our next speaker, moving on, is Claudia Molnar. Welcome,
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Edith, for leading us all on this beautiful day. And thank you to all the beautiful women that are here in the container with us and joining us online or watching this from wherever. So happy International Women's Day to you all. I'm so grateful to be here today. This is it's such a powerful, it's always such a powerful get together when women get together anyway. And as Kerry said, the energy in the room, it doesn't matter that it's Zoom. The energy in the room is on fire. And I love so much that we're talking about gardens and growth and bridges. And those of you who cannot see the chat, we were also talking about shoulder pads and how 1980s leadership, women in leadership wore shoulder pads to show our power. But also Nancy mentioned how we were standing on one another's shoulders at that time. And now we're not standing on one another's shoulders anymore. We're holding one another's hands. And it's just a really beautiful time to be in leadership as a woman. And I want to kind of jump on a few things that were mentioned, just because I love how all of this feeds into one another. So, Nancy started off talking about multiple roles, and Abdel then gave us a beautiful list of all the people that she is, and then Kerry as well. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing because as women, we carry so many identities at the same time, depending on the role that we're playing. And it can often be quite challenging to figure out who we really are at the core. So I'll just introduce myself a bit more detail. My name's Claudia Molnar. I'm the founder of Clear for Clarity coaching services. I have a history in education. I'm a linguist. I spent 30 years in education, working with students and then their parents and then leaders, mentoring them through trauma, emotional challenges, and then also mentoring and coaching leaders through their own challenges with dealing with people who are having challenges, because we always know that we need to fill up our own container in order to help other people. It's been the most fulfilling work or the most fulfilling project or the most fulfilling pastime, I can say. And a lifelong love affair of mine, I have to say. And being a woman through it all has had its ups and downs, for sure. Because I'm also a mum. I was a solo mum to two great, not kids anymore. They're now both much bigger than I am. And and building a career while, you know, building a very successful career while navigating a very messy life, let's say, also has its own challenges. And as women, we talked about this before we went live, how some of us literally had a few, very short time to get, ready for the call and that. And women, we just do it so beautifully. We just jump into from one role to the next so very easily. Almost, it doesn't even mess up our hair, does it? And it's just a natural thing for us to just, flow from one person into the next, from leader to mum to daughter to sister to friend to boss to subordinate to, lifelong learner. It doesn't matter the role we're playing, we effortlessly seem to glide into it, and we're always on whenever we need to be. I think we all deserve an Oscar just for being women. We just all deserve an award just for being women. But one of the things, and a story I just want to share with you, because I currently help a lot of high achievers who are struggling with managing work-life balances, facing or navigating burnout. And it's something that I've experienced myself. And part of this is because when we're shifting from one role to another, we are often the last person that we put on our own list. So as Ebtal so beautifully said, it's really important that we love ourselves, and loving ourselves is giving ourselves time and space and all of the things that we need. So actually, I remember when I was working in education initially, and I moved from teacher into a leadership role, I actually lost like 30% of my workplace friendships from one day to the next, gone. And that had a very massive impact on me. And in time, I looked into this, and actually, there's research, even today, shows that around 10% of men experience this, but 25% of women in leadership experience the loss of workplace friendships. We used to have this, expression, the minute you put on a suit, you move to the other side, and that, sometimes it's very difficult to maintain, these relationships that you had before when you move into the role of leadership, particularly if you're working within a structure. And a lot of, the offset of this is that it causes levels of grief, confusion. In some cases that ends up being relatively traumatic for people. And that confusion also causes frustration and an overall sense of helplessness. And actually, 60% of women in leadership report increased levels of loneliness and lack of support. And also because quite often we don't speak up. And the knock-on effect of this is that it seeps into our everyday relationships, and most of all with the relationship we have with ourselves and our lifestyles and our thought processes. And the more we consider this, the stronger the belief becomes. And then we just fall back into those habits of playing small and people pleasing. And if we're really unfortunate, hitting burnout. It happened to me. I hit burnout three times in my life. Even after the first one, I thought, okay, I've got this. I can see the signs. But the signs were all there. I just chose to ignore them, as we do. But it does happen, and it does sneak up on us, and we're not always aware of it. And this can happen on an energetic level and on a frequency level. So Abtal, I'm very, very grateful for that beautiful healing journey that you just took us on now, because we're not always aware of this happening, and it really does affect our energy. And once we affect our energy, we affect our nervous system. And the key to confidence is having a regulated nervous system. Confidence comes from small steps of repeated achievement. And sometimes we're not even aware of these achievements. And this is why we have International Women's Day. We're here to celebrate ourselves. They've given us one day to officially celebrate ourselves. But I'm a huge advocate of celebrating all of our wins. I've built it into my day. I celebrate three things every single day, even if that is a celebration of just getting out of bed in the morning. I will make a point of celebrating three things every single day, because we do not celebrate ourselves enough. And every time we celebrate ourselves, we are rewiring our brains and our neural pathways to say that we've achieved something, and we are rewiring the achievement thought process. And the stronger that brain muscle gets, then the more confident we are. And the more confident we are, the higher our levels of frequency. And as Ebtihad just said, the higher our levels of frequency, the more we attract. And once we attract things, we become a magnet. When one door opens, 10 doors open. If we step through that door, like we open the window and we let in the light. And if we receive the light and then we celebrate the light, there will be another door full of light to follow. And actually, this is just a natural phenomenon of attraction. It's also part of conscious attraction. And it's something that I help people to recognize. And one way of doing this is by noticing the patterns as well. And pattern noticing is also part of conscious attraction. It's like, I don't know, if you want to buy a red Mercedes and you've got your heart set on the car that you want, suddenly you're going to start seeing these red Mercedes everywhere. You're going to start seeing the car you want everywhere. It's just part of noticing. But one of the things that we don't always notice are our own patterns of behavior in these different roles that we play. So one of my gifts to you actually is for the first couple of people that get in touch to actually give you access to my 28 Days to Clarity course. I actually have a couple of places still available for this month where we look at the roles we play in relationships. And this is actually something you could do yourselves even today, something quite simple. Whereas if you just write a list of all the people that you are, like I'm a leader, I'm a mom, I'm a sister, I'm a, whoever you are. And even you might need a very wide piece of paper, and that's absolutely fine, because sometimes you'll be shocked at how many people you really are. And I invite you to be very honest with this. And then what we do is, if you write down the positive qualities you present in each of these roles. So as a leader, I had to be, I was super organized, very strategic, all like organized to, like, I had lists for my lists, I had reminders for my to-do list, and I also had to be regulated. I had to be on time. I had to be prepared, and I'm not even just talking about teaching in itself. That's another level of organization in itself. But my personal life was like a complete chaos and a mess in comparison, and I was very young and I wasn't as aware as I am today. But, I had to start looking at, okay, what am I employing in this role that I can bring into this role to improve this situation? And so this is what we do. So you write a list of who you are, all of the positive qualities you present, And then, and this really requires your honesty, is then to note down the shadows of your behavior. Okay, so the things that perhaps are not as purposeful as you might want them to be, and as much as you possibly can, to write down the emotion that goes with it. So, as a leader, in many respects, I was relatively fearless. I am relatively fearless. But in my relationships, there was a lot of fear. In my personal relationships, there was a lot of fear, from my own, past traumas and things like that. And I noticed how that was showing up, and it wasn't just in my personal relationships. Then I realized actually that I had no fear in friendships or work, but I had in personal relationships, but I also had fears with other kinds of relationships as well. And so you start seeing a pattern, and when you start noting down the emotions that you associate with these behaviors, you're going to come up with a really nice a pattern, basically, a really nice diagram, if you like, an emotional diagram of who you are in these roles. And then it's just about putting the pieces of the puzzle into the right order, basically. And so I invite you to do this. And this is you can do this in, you can 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. You don't even have to do it all in one sitting. You can even do it as you go along, and you could start doing it as a little journal prompt at the end of each day, like, who was I today and what did I do? And maybe it will help you if you look at a situation occurred, how did you react to it, and what was the emotion that triggered that response? Because again, as women, we're not always so aware of how we behave when we're in situations that are just for us, that are very personal, because like I said, we're always trying to perform. And as Kerry mentioned, it's not about performing. And when we're overperforming and we're not present, it's quite often that the place we're least present is in our own personal lives. So that is part of my gift to you. And I'm also offering, so I'm also a breathwork facilitator. So thank you, Abtel, also for taking us on that beautiful little breathing journey there as well. So so for the first 5 people that get in contact with me, I'm going to I have a beautiful breathwork journey for you about awakening your inner hero and helping you to celebrate yourself and the wonderful woman that you are. So thank you again for having me. It's my absolute pleasure. I can't wait for the rest of the shares from everyone. I'm having so much fun. I hope you all are too. It's absolutely the perfect way for me, it's evening. I'm in Central Europe. It's the perfect way to close International Women's Day for me to share this space with you all. So thank you.
Thank you, Claudia. This was amazing and was such a reminder about celebrating ourselves. And yeah, 3 times a day, it's easy. It's easy to, or once a day, but finding the 3 things that we are grateful for that you mentioned at the beginning, and also connecting with ourselves. And finding, I love when you said, instead of the word negative things, the shadow. So that was super powerful, and we get to be honest with ourselves to find those shadows, because sometimes we just want to, I don't know, put it under the carpet and just forget about it. Oh, no, but we get to bring everything up to the table and being honest with ourselves, and only then we can find out what we can work on and how to move forward. Thank you so much for this reminder. I do envisioning work in the morning, like right in the evening before I fall asleep, and in the morning as soon as I am conscious that I'm awake, but I'm manifesting and also thinking like, how can this get better? well, I'm grateful for what happened yesterday and what is possible and how that can be better, or how can I generate more love or connection or possibilities today. So thank you so much for your speech. It was beautiful. And our next speaker is beautiful Daniela. Welcome, welcome.
I just realized I was like muted. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Daniela. First of all, I'd like to thank Edith for this beautiful, beautiful workshop that she put together internationally. I love that we have women from different continents here, different countries, and a couple of us are in the US, and then Edith, you're in London, right? And I think we have, what else do we have here?
We've got
California.
Hungary, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
A lot of places. Oh, Canada, I love it.
Canada,
Okay.
yeah.
Internationally. So again, hi everyone. And my name is Daniela Trufen. I am a master abundance coach with 35 years of entrepreneurship experience. I created several businesses, and today I teach other women how to go from scarcity into abundance. And I have a powerful question for you guys right now. Who on here feels like in the past, they heard anything about scarcity? Scarcity of money? Most of us, correct? Yep. Most of us heard something about scarcity of money, right? Yeah, there it is. That's Pittsburgh. Okay. And I forgot also to let you guys know, I am a headliner on the upcoming documentary film, The Rise of the Lioness. It's Women in Leadership, coming up this September. And I will let you guys know when that is up. It will be powerful women, just like here, will share what they know and how they empower the next generation to come. I also wrote a book, and it's called Made for More, MAID, made as I started my businesses being a maid. And today I own a business that is making profitable, very profitable. And I teach other women how to go from living in scarcity into creating businesses and living in abundance. And what I want to say is abundance is a way of being. We're not doing abundance. We don't create it. We attract it into our life. And we attract it by the way we're being. So I want you guys to, when you hear people say, oh, just say affirmations, right? I'm rich, I'm abundant, I'm this, I'm that. A lot of women just say it and they say, well, nothing happens around me. That is because the identity that you are today cannot bring the abundance that an abundant woman has. So the identity has got to be shifting. So you got to become someone else. An abundant woman has different qualities. An abundant woman attracts abundance into her life. And when I say abundance, it's not just money. Not sure if everyone here knows, there is abundance in every area of your life. You can create abundance of money, abundance of time, abundance of relationship. Look at the relationship we have created here, right? Like, how many of you are connected with people all over the world? Raise your hand. Let me see. Right? We are so connected these days. I am in so many groups, probably you guys are too. And from every group, I connected with someone. And at this point, I'm internationally connected. I even call myself a super connector. Who wants to be a super connector? An abundant super connected. Yes, let's do that. Let's do that. So I have a framework. And this framework, it's called Go Wealthy. G stands for gratitude. Get up every morning and sit in gratitude for whatever you feel like it. I get up and I say, I'm grateful for my breath. All right. I know Claudia is like, yes. I am grateful. I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful for the business I created. I'm grateful for the connection. So sit in gratitude. It's a powerful, powerful abundance attractor. O is for open to opportunities. What opportunities come into your life that in the past you might have rejected? I am a yes to things that show up in my life. Somebody says, "Hey, we're doing this." I'm there. Somebody says, "Hey, would you like to be writing the book?" Yep, I'll write the book. Would you like to be connected with this person? Yep. So I'm open because these opportunities created things in my life that I couldn't have dreamed of. So be open to opportunities. W is for worthiness. Do you feel like you're worthy? Do you feel like you're enough? I think Claudia has talked about, and she talked about like us, like loving ourselves, right? Are you loving yourself? Are we enough? Do you feel worthy? Because we cannot attract abundance when we're feeling in the lower levels of shame and guilt. When you sit there, no abundance would be attracted into your life. You've got to be, I call it, at love and above. Anything on that scale that is love and above, you start attracting abundance into your life. E is for expansion. What area of my life am I expanding? My knowledge, my creativity. What else is possible? I've heard it today already. What else is possible? So that's expansion. I am open to that. A is for alignment. In order to attract abundance into our lives as women, we got to be aligned. Who we say we are, the words that come out of our mouth have got to be aligned. If you say one thing, but you're doing another, if you say, I'm committed to do this, but you're not, that is not alignment. So you cannot attract abundance into your life as long as you're not in alignment with being abundant. L is for love. Love yourself with everything you got. Spend time in the morning with yourself. I spend time every morning. And in the past, I have not done that. I was a get up and go, 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 go. A lot of you in here know me when I was a go, go, go person. And it didn't serve me at all. I think Vanessa knows. Now I wake up and I completely sit there and I'm like, I love myself. What else is possible today, right? T is for trust. Do I trust myself and do I trust other people? a lot of us don't trust ourselves or other people. We always live in a fear. What if that person this? What if that? What if this? I am sitting in, I trust myself. Whatever comes up is from my intuition. And I believe in me. I believe in the people around me. So work on trust. H is for happiness. I found out that no one out there can make me happy. Happy is an inside job. And when I am happy inside my heart, I project love and happiness to all the people around me, all of them. And then there's you. There's Y, which stands for you. Yes, you. All the women, they're watching this. You are the most abundant woman on the planet. And when you practice gratitude, and when you're open to possibilities, you know your worth, you expand into generosity, you align with your truly who you really are, love will flow in all areas of your life. And you didn't think it's possible. And you will begin to trust yourself and trust others around you. That's the Go Wealthy method. And I will send it to Edith and put it in a PDF to send it to you guys. Okay. I want to hear from the women here. Who has ever heard the phrase, we can't afford it? Most of us in our lives, yes. I grew up in a family of 10, was born in Europe, Romania. And when I was little, I always heard, we can't afford anything. And I was always thinking, I wonder, what can I do? How can I figure it out to make money, to make more money so we can afford stuff? And as I grew older, I did different jobs. I did whatever I had to do. And one day I made a decision that I don't want my kids or my grandkids or my grandkids, the next generation, to ever say we cannot afford it. So if you live in that scarcity, you can also make a decision. I will change the next generation. My kids and grandkids will never have to say they can't afford something. And you know what? Today, I live that life. I live that life. My kids and my grandkids will never have to say they can't afford it. So I am calling myself a generational shifter. So if you have people in your life that you want to see their life being abundant, make a decision. I am a generational shifter. I change my kids. So I say to myself, I'm changing my life, my kids' life, my family life, and other women's family life. And that's what I want for you guys, all of you. Thank you.
Daniela and everybody who wants to be generational shifter, raise your hands and claim it.
Got it.
We do. Thank you so much for this powerful work that you do. And
Edith, I also have a meditation that I can send a link shortly. And the meditation is, because again, it's a way of being. It's not just saying affirmation. When you say it, you gotta say it as you're living it, as you feel it in your whole body. Okay, you can't just say I'm abundant, but I have this. Do you have, it's like a minute. Do you want me to say it
Yeah, go for
for the
it.
women? Okay, you guys can either close your eyes or you can just embody this, okay? I am so grateful and happy and grateful now that money flows to me in increasing quantities in many uh, sources on continuous basis. I am one with the infinite riches of my subconscious mind. It is my right to be rich, happy, and successful. Money flows to me easily, endlessly, and in avalanches of abundance. I give my talents with love, and I'm wonderfully blessed financially. It is amazing. There you go.
Oh,
So
amen.
that's embodying it when you say it. So I have that on recording several times over, like on repeat, so I can send that also.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
sharing that with us and all the audience and the people who are tuning in. We will be sending out all the gifts that our experts and speakers are giving us generously. And yeah, enjoy it, take it on, learn it, and tune in. We will be having this on YouTube as well. You can rewatch it and go back to it. And yeah, have an amazing International Women's Day. We're surrounded with so much abundance of gifts. Thank you, Daniela. And our next speaker is beautiful, sexy Margarita. I had to say it.
Hmm. Hmm. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Edith, for just bringing us together here today on International Women's Day. I'm truly honored to be here with so many powerful, like women and leaders with so much wisdom and heart and knowledge to share. I just wanted to touch, oh, I'm getting chills as I say that. I just wanted to touch upon what's already been spoken about because I think it's worth mentioning again because it's no coincidence we all came to the room together because I think we all could have had this speech if we had 2 hours to talk about it, right? Because it all really is intermingled. Nancy talking about collaboration and no more competition. Like that's powerful. There's so many lone wolves. I mean, I think I'm a recovering lone wolf and still in progress, you know? Carrie talking about presence over performance. Like how often do we think we need to do more? But the truth is it's just being present and choosing what is in alignment with you. Eptahal, like your bravery and asking what else is possible. Oh, gold. Oh my gosh, I get chills just thinking about it. And what you said about self-care and self-love as a superpower, I think it's a superpower because that's when I started to really fall in love with myself and I started leaning in more in courage. And that is really what is the gold nugget. Claudia, like nervous system regulation, pausing, key. Key so that you start breaking the pattern, that thing that you keep choosing, the familiarity. I remember hearing a quote that said, your nervous system is going to choose the familiar hell over choosing an unfamiliar heaven. And when I heard that, I was like, what? So true. I do that all the time. And the other thing too is celebrating yourselves when you do make that small little incremental shift and change. Like when you make a choice to pause or you know choose something different or choose something that aligns. Like celebrating yourself really helps to kind of put it in your nervous system and in your body. So that was so important. And knowing that your shadow is how you what I notice is like you can't see the shadow if there's no light. So the brighter you shine, the bigger the shadow is going to show up. But it's just about being in balance. And I love that we're talking about that. And Daniela, I mean, you're always so inspiring, talking about how to shift your identity from scarcity to worthiness. And it starts with your ways of being. It really starts with identity shifting and being aligning with what you are worthy for, and just knowing that you're worth. So that goal wealthy motto is going to be my new thing. So thank you for that gift. And it really is about breaking generational cycles and being a shift. And I think like when I started showing up in my truth, I started realizing that the people in my room were all generational cycle breakers. So I just want to say truly, I honor each and every one of you here for just showing up powerfully and in your truth. And says, I believe I'm one of the one of the few last ones to go. I just wanted to do something right now just to kind of get us back into our body. So I want to try something a little different before I begin really in my speech. As we've all been sitting here listening for a little while, so let's just check in with our nervous system. Let's take about 6 seconds to reset our nervous systems together. Stretch, maybe feel yourself rolling your shoulders, shaking your hands. There's a lot of information that we've had here. And in order for us to really absorb it, we get to just kind of reset, right? So take a deep breath in your nose. And when you exhale, your audible sigh, and really feel yourself landing present in this moment. Maybe you need to soften your jaw, right? Because sometimes we don't realize that we're clenching and we're holding tight instead of being in an expansive state. So just noticing where your body is always a good indication of where you are. So I just want to say thank you again. That took us about like 6 seconds, right? To just kind of reset our nervous system. Like if only our lives could be that easy. Like if we could just reset everything that goes wrong in our lives in those 6 seconds, I think it'd be a lot easier. But the truth is the tiniest reset already starts to shift something inside your body. It allows you to soften. It allows your breath to slow down. Your attention comes back into you instead of being out of you. So the truth is the tiniest reset can actually bring you the first truth that I want to share today. Overfunctioning, and I think Carrie touched a little bit about this, overfunctioning is often praised as strength. It is. But in reality, it's exhaustion and it's wearing a cape. It's like, I'm a superwoman and we're proud of it. But I'm curious to ask, how many of you feel like you're the strong one in the family? Do you feel like you're the strong one in the family? Yeah. Now keep your hand up if being strong, the strong one, it sometimes feels exhausting. Yeah. You're not alone. You're not alone. For most of my life, I believe the solution to imbalance was simply do more, be more, like more responsible, more understanding, more patient, more forgiving, just more, 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 more. And until one day I realized that something had to shift. And I realized something that changed everything for me. That I was not under functioning, I was actually over functioning. So let's be honest, over functioning can look like strength a lot of the times. But then your nervous system starts to collapse. You start to feel like you're drowning. You start to feel like you're invisible. Like, when is it my turn? Doing all of this for you. And resentment quickly starts to accumulate. So even as a little girl, I was very, very aware of fairness. I noticed the people who got heard versus the people who got dismissed, the people who got supported versus the people who needed to be expected to carry more in life or in their finances. So when you grow up around so much imbalance, you become very sensitive to the scales of imbalance. And when you're the oldest, like me, who's the oldest one in the house here? Yeah, sister, I see you. Mark goes to you. And you're the emotional regulator. You're the responsible one. You're the one that has to carry everybody else. And you're never thanked for it either. And you start to believe that if things fall apart, well, it must be my fault somehow. It must be my fault. I did something wrong. So you learn to overfunction. And overfunctioning can look like biting your tongue just to keep the peace. Just like, oh, it didn't work last time I told my truth. I'm just gonna, and trust me, it's taken me 50 years to even try to. I still don't get it right. But and maybe fixing situations before anyone labeled you the problem. Then you start saying yes to everything just to look good and people please. Which, by the way, is a fantastic way to become exhausted really, really quickly. So, for a long time in my life, I carried that quiet belief that I was a burden. I wasn't good enough. I could never get it right. Not consciously, of course, but it was underneath everything that I did, everything I believed. And I believed I was too much at the same time. Not enough and then too much. Like, how does that even work? I thought I was too emotional, too intense, too opinionated, too willful, too smart, too sexy, like you said, Edith. So I compensated. I dimmed my light. I played small. I hid. I stopped showing up in my truth. And if I could just maybe be helpful more, like do more, be useful in a different way, like how else can I stretch myself? Maybe if I felt needed enough, maybe I wouldn't feel like a burden anymore. And then one day I realized that something that really truly stopped me in my tracks. I realized I wasn't a burden. I was just a woman who never had been allowed to have her own needs. How about you? Do you ask for what you need? And when a woman believes their needs make them a burden, well, they stop asking, right? You stop asking for your needs. And then you start over giving, over fixing, over performing, over functioning until one day you wake up exhausted and then you wonder why the scales of your life feel so out of balance. The balance is not going to come from proving your worth, but how much you can carry on your back. Like, put that backpack down, girlfriend. You have permission today. Just put it down. Because balance comes from remembering that that you have needs and they matter. So I remember one time sitting in a workshop and this like completely blew my mind away because up until then I was like, what's wrong with me? She asked the room, do you believe people can change? Almost everybody in the room actually said no. What do you guys think? Can people change? You think people can change? It's funny because I said that. I was like, yeah, people can change. And she came in, the facilitator was like, no, people don't change. I was like, no, no, no. I went off mute. I was like risking like being called out. No, people can change. She's like, no, no, no. People do not change. I was like, okay, no, no, no. I don't know if I like that answer. She says, people don't change. They actually become really aware of their patterns and they get to choose differently. That makes sense, right? So something inside me cracked open that day, in that moment. I was like, I paid all my money for that one sentence because I realized up until then, I wasn't broken. I felt broken for so long, thinking, why does everybody else get it? Why is everybody else having these breakthroughs and going on with life and unlocking their abundance? And I'm still sitting here going, what's wrong with me? I must be the exception to the rule. I must be broken. And I'm getting super deja vu right now as I say this, actually. But I realized in that moment that yes, I get to have a choice, and that was empowering. That's when I started shifting the balance of my scales because I realized I was not powerless to my circumstances. Life wasn't happening to me, it was really happening for me. And it was in my awareness that I get to shift and be brave and make a new choice. And I'm not going to get it right every time, right? Awareness doesn't mean that you failed. Awareness just means that you finally have a choice, and that is sovereignty. That's where it begins. Because for years, I thought balance meant being stronger. I got to carry more. I got to carry everybody's emotional weight. I got to be responsible for their reactions. I must have done something wrong. I said something wrong. Oh, I probably should have. But no, holding everything together for everyone else is not the way to go. But eventually I realized something even more simple than that. And no one had actually asked me to carry any of it. I chose that. Somewhere along the way, I just decided that that was my job. And if you've ever argued with someone while secretly rehearsing that closing statement in your head, well, you know exactly what I mean, right? Because you're always like, oh, I can't wait to say what I'm going to say because I don't hear anything you're saying. I just got to defend myself in this moment. Like, you're wrong. You don't see all the stuff I'm doing. You don't see all the backpacks and the baby and the hair dryer and the laptop. Just today, before coming on this call, I had to do all this stuff for my kids' birthdays and having practice for a tournament tomorrow and still trying to like figure out what I'm gonna say today. Getting ready, like I didn't even have my face on when I came on first. I was like, I gotta put my face on. So we gotta learn to just pause. And we can do it. We're super women, and that's the thing I love about that. But I think where we fall short is that we keep blaming ourselves when things don't go right or don't go according to our expectation. But one other comment I remember or statement that I remember hearing is an expectation is a premeditated resentment. And that landed so powerfully for me because I was like, yeah, that's so true. Oh my gosh. How much expectations we have on something. That's why we block our abundance, right, Daniela? Because we're having expectation as how it's supposed to look, but when you surrender and trust that what's supposed to unfold will, that's when you can really lean into your worthiness and abundance. And balance isn't about shrinking. It's about, and it also isn't about overpowering it either, right? It's about integration, alignment. Because healthy masculine energy gives us boundaries, direction, integrity. Healthy feminine energy is going to give us the intuition, the softness, the wisdom, the joy, the rest, and that sacred pause. So let me ask you something. How many of you have ever felt like you're just too much, just like me? Yeah, too emotional, too intense, maybe too outspoken, right? Too honest. Now imagine for a moment, what if your life would feel like if you stopped apologizing for those things? What would it look like? Because for years I thought balance meant learning more, how to carry more and how to be more understanding. Balance doesn't come from becoming stronger. Balance comes from finally putting something down that is not yours. You're not behind. You're not broken. Okay? I'm here to tell you from one sister to another, you're not broken and you're not behind. You're exactly where you're meant to be. And most importantly, you're not a burden. You're not too much. You're simply a woman remembering how to rebalance the scales of her life as she's becoming. So if the scales in your life feel heavy right now, I ask you this, sister. Maybe the answer isn't to become stronger. Maybe it's finally just to put that down that is not yours to be carried anyway. Because balance begins the moment that you stop carrying what was never yours. It was never yours to carry. It's the generational patterns that we're all here to break and to shift. Thank you so much for letting me be here and sharing my love and heart with you. I'm Margarita Rose. I'm here with Soul Spark Sanctuary and the Coming Home to You Sparkcast. And if anybody is interested in unlocking my meditation vault, I'd be happy to share that with you. If you want to join a community of sacred women and sisterhood circle, the inner circle, where we just come in and collaborate and support one another and just show up and just have a safe space that we can be seen in all our glory, you're invited to join my intercessor group. So thank you again, Edith. Thank you a lot, beautiful ladies, for being here. I'm so grateful and I feel blessed. Thank you today.
Thank you, Margarita. It was powerful to hear all about you, how you overcame the limiting beliefs and the things that were in your way for you to shine. And I resonated the most with is about resentment, especially resentment created for myself, not for others. It was truly an eye-opener for me. So thank you for that reminder, and your gift is being shared in the chat, and it will be sent out to all the participants. Thank you so much. Our next speaker is lovely, creative, and powerful Vanessa.
Thank you so much, Edith, for putting this together, for uniting us all in a similar grounded vision. Like, we're all here for the same reason. And I love that. I can feel the energy in the collective here. Listening to these speakers, I'm like, I'm right on track with what I am seeing in the collective that's needed, what's needed for me and what's needed out in the world. So I'm so grateful to be here, sharing this space, creating this powerful, magnificent, balancing conversation that's just so needed in the world right now. Happy International Women's Day. Feliz Día Internacional de las Mujeres. And that's about the only two languages I can say that in for now, right? My name is Vanessa Truffin. I am a master leader, a coach, musician. I help first generation millennial women who are going through transition shift from surviving into thriving. Legacy. We're all here because we want to create a powerful legacy, not just in our lives, but generational shifters. Am I right? I know I'm not the only one here. And it's so wonderful to hear so many of you say that you're creating the same things in your life. I want to start off by sharing my burnout story. Has anyone here ever experienced burnout? I know someone here earlier said, yeah, Claudia, you said you mentioned 3 times. Okay, I'm not alone. I, in school, was the high achiever. You would think I was like competing in the who can grab the most awards type of competition that I just created for myself. That's who I was. I remember I had a friend in my 20s recommend the Billy Joel song Vienna. And he was like, slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious. And I remember being like, excuse me, why would you even dare say that? I get it. I get it now. I get it now. The pacing, the balance, that's not something that I had in my life. I used to own a bridal boutique in Phoenix, Arizona called Avanci Bridal. My love of celebrating love and weddings led me to creating a career in the wedding industry. And it was successful. I had brides not just driving in from across the state or across the world, like internationally, coming to my boutique because, and I quote, it's cute. It was fun. I had a great social media presence. And I realized at one point throughout my career, I started to resent. I love that so many people here mention that. I resented my success. I would see an email come in saying, you have a new appointment booked. And I thought, I'm already pre-exhausted for that. I don't know about you, but when you grow to resent your success and your business and the actions that you chose to get yourself there, man, did I feel so out of balance. I felt betrayed by my leadership, by my ambition. I felt betrayed by the definition of success that I had been chasing. I reached a moment where I looked around and I was like, I have the dream house, the dream car, and I'm not happy. Oh, if you're unmuted, go ahead and mute yourself really quickly. I think there's some extra sound coming in. And if you're able to come on camera, come on camera. I'd love to see you. I'd love to connect with you. There you go. So yeah, I realized, you know what? The definition of success that I had created for myself, it wasn't in alignment to who I really am, to the values that I hold so dear. And I knew that shifts got to happen in my life. So now what I'm going to talk to you about today, which I wish I had in my pocket when I was starting off my business, is sassy. You're like, what? An International Women's Day? You're going to encourage us to be sassy? Yes, I am. Here's what sassy represents. S, success. And I'll go deeper into this. Success. We are going to redefine success. 2, I should say, alignment. Creating alignment in our life. Aligned leaders are powerful leaders. When you're aligned with your vision and your values, oh my God, look out, world, here I come. The first S, the second S, I guess, sisterhood. I will talk deeper into that. And then the final S is sustainability. What good is it if we're aligned, if we're powerful, and we're not living a life that's sustainable for us? So I'm going to start off with success. Take a quick second, jot it in the chat, type it in your notes or whatever it is. What is your definition of success? What does it mean? What is success? And I'm going to be speeding through this, and in the free giveaway, it's literally realigning to your values and success and redefining success so you can have that tool to navigate through as you, in your own pace, redefine success. So I see success. Okay, yeah, perfect. Satisfaction, fulfillment, awesome. In my 20s, I've always led leadership programs, and I remember as a senior in college, I worked with freshman leaders in the leadership learning community. And I prided myself on being this 20-year-old redefining success. And really what it was is it was my mom's definition of success that I tweaked just a little bit. Her definition of success and immigrants' definition of success, so many people's definition of success is I go to college, I have a great career in that area that I studied. I make good money. I have a good house. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I have accolades, recognition in my field. People know who I am. She wanted me to do that through being a doctor. And I said, heck no. But I still chased her definition of success just in my own way. So what I want to bring up now is, what is your definition of success? What's your parents' definition of success? What is the definition of success in your industry? And ask yourself again, what really is my definition of success? And I know that's a huge question to go off of, but in that workshop, in that free giveaway, give yourself that time to explore what success looks like and means to you. Because transitioning now into the A, alignment. Look at your definition of success and look at the values in your life and ask yourself, am I aligned? Does this align? Does what I wear align? Does my message align to who I am, to my values, to the impact that I want to make in the world? Does my success align with my time, with my energy? Because when we're leaders out of alignment, where are we going? I don't know about you, but I don't know if you've ever driven a car that's out of alignment and it pulls to one side. So you overcompensate by pulling a little bit to the left or to the right. But if you let the steering wheel go, what happens? The car veers again. So just like in our cars that need alignment, we get to reflect in our own lives where we get to create alignment. Okay, sisterhood. Now, if you have the opportunity to come on camera for just a second. We're going to do a tiny little activity. Raise your hands if you are a mom. Okay, raise your hand if you're not a mom. Raise your hand if you own a business. Raise your hand if you speak more than 2 languages. Raise your hand if you play a musical instrument. Raise your hand if you've ever cried and you were so mad at yourself for crying in that moment. Raise your hand if you've ever wanted to hide. Raise your hand if you love celebrating your success. Okay, so if this activity has taught me anything, is that we're not alone. We're not alone. I saw hands raised for almost every single question that I asked. For those former lone wolves just like myself, success is so much harder to achieve when you're by yourself. I raised my foot even. I love that, Margarita. The sisterhood here, just like Margarita was mentioning, the sisterhood, when you link hands and arm with other women who have powerful visions like you, who have lived through their own special sauce, but can relate to the emotion, to the vision, to the drive that you have. That's how we go further together. And the final S is sustainability. Sustainability. I've learned to ask myself many times throughout my day, throughout my weeks, through my months, is this sustainable for me? My work schedule, is this sustainable for me? Even my own definition of success, is that sustainable for me? We get to reflect and ground ourselves on what our own definitions of success, our alignment, the sisterhood that we have, and the sustainability. Reflect that upon yourself, even daily. At the end of the day, you can ask yourself, did I have a successful day? Based on your definition of what a successful day is, including the compassion, including the vision, including collaboration, and everything that these powerful leaders have shared with us today. And if my business taught me one thing when I read reviews for Avanci Bridal, the most commonly used phrase was how I felt. And that taught me that it wasn't my pretty dresses, it wasn't my social media presence that made a difference. It was how we made them feel. So just like you all here are leaders and powerful leaders in your communities, in your families, how you make people feel matters. So why not start with yourself and make sure that you are feeling good and aligned through this process? Thank you so much for listening. I'll be sharing the link below. I'm just so honored to have shared the stage with so many of you, and happy International Women's Day. Thank you.
Powerful. Thank you so much for this. Oh, such a beautiful question. Yes, we are wearing so many hats. We do so many things, and yet sometimes even after so many tools we've learned, we do forget about ourselves, and we get to pull ourselves back, shake ourselves off, dust it off, and go for it and empower ourselves, because that's the only way that is going to be sustainable moving forward. Thank you so much, Vanessa, for this, and amazing shares. So as we are coming to conclusion, we've got amazing final speaker, Florencia. Let's welcome Florencia to the table. Woohoo!
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Edith, for inviting me. I was so honored to be joined to this International Women in this format. And then it's 10 minutes, so I'm going to be short and quick. So I have a presentation to share. So I don't know, how do I share? You want to open the share?
You can share. Just click the button on the bottom.
All right.
Yeah, perfect.
You got it?
Yeah.
Oh, now I cannot see your face. So anyway, so As you see, I'm doing sensory interior design. So basically, my background is I have bachelor. I was from Indonesia, and I moved to America in '96, and I studied design again. I'm passionate about helping people. I used originally want to be a doctor, but I'm afraid of blood. So anyway, so design is something like to help people's in kind of creativity because I love to draw, and then psychology because I love psychology. So a little bit everything. So I study a lot, and I like to do a lot of research. And somehow during my journey, I have my first-hand experience with my son, who is diagnosed with autistic just right after I finished my project, volunteer with Achieve Kids School in around 2000, right after I graduated. So I always feel like so mad. Why I have this one after I volunteer for community helping the school with autistic, and I have my own son with this autistic. And at that time, I don't even know what is autistic because what I read from the library is totally different, right? So anyway, long story short, there's a lot of things that people doesn't know. At that time, my son's born in 1999, and not even doctor aware about autism. So, and they say, oh, boys, speaks very late, and then this and that. So anyway, this is like kind of a briefish. What is the meaning of autism? So it's like the school psychologists say like they will assess child behavior, cognition, skill, communication. So education autism is not a diagnosis, but allow to a child to kind of IEP. And then so during the time when he was young, I have so much challenges physically, mentally, and everything because it's so hard to bring my son outside the community because he's run away, 911, police, and people perception about, oh, you're bad mom, or you don't even know manner, and then doing so many weird stuff, and naked right away, jump into the pool, those kind of crazy in the norm. So anyway, because my experience in interior design since 1985, and I do a lot of high end, just from sensory doing design from single space all the way to restaurant, golf bidding, restaurant, American Express cafe. So I see this my son as like a client. So I search everything. Why he touched the wall when he walked, why he ran away, why he's afraid of this noise, why he's afraid of going to the washing car, and then why he's screaming when I talk to him. It's like I'm beating him. I don't even know why. So that's what like a trigger. Like I'm a mom, and I always want to help people, and I always wonder why. Especially have a lot of physical challenge with the skin. Like every morning he wake up like blood everywhere with eczema. So I study a lot, and then because as I mentioned, I like to be a doctor, so I do like something wrong physically, internally. So basically, like this is you, right? And you live in the environment. So that is the theory. Let me see. I can give you like, for example, like this is my theory. So I jump up very quick. So basically, this is my theory. Like when you have a baby, like it is inside, right? So then when you have like newborn, they wrap it you up, and then with autism, they kind of sense like a feeling cuddle, and they're looking some kind of safety, and in Chinese they say autism is like a 小孩子这边 that's mean they live in their own world. So they don't even care about the norm. They don't read newspaper. They don't know, are you telling the truth? Are you laughing because you bully me? Those kind of. So this is kind of everything that you touch, everything that you smell, everything that you see, what lighting, what pattern, the noise from the clock, the touch of the carpet, the touch of the wall, the texture of the wall, the scissors, the comb that touching your hair when you do haircut. Everything is a touch. It's everything sensory. So I see like I'm an interior designer, and then everything I do is about selecting material. So I experiment those kind of thing, and then I pick the carpet, or what I pick the rug, and then I notice when I change this one, he keep running and running away. I mean, like running around the rugs that I picked. So that's something must be sensational and make him happy, right? And then also in the school, I noticed that they wrap the kids' food with the special, and then they even use rice, and they use the speakers to hold the ears so they become desensitized of all the noises. So that's why I started developing this program. And during COVID, I also interview about 20 plus, around 26, 28 people all over the world, from the brain doctors, Temple Grandin, music therapists from UK, one autistic, one mom, the celebrity artist in UK, they have 6 kids of autism. So architects, interior designer who design autism school. So I try to solve my curiosity. That's why I try to say, I think it's better for me to just concentrate on sensory design, because not this is something new. And I think when during like COVID, I think not in the whole world they have less than 5 people doing this. So, and then I like the way, because I kind of finished being designer, just being used the label to help people who has money and goodbye after the project. I like to have my work to help people to improve their quality of life. So that's why it's coming like this journey. So so what I do is like I create like a quiet calm space or whatever you need. Like we work with the occupational therapist, and I try to put psychologists as well. So we assess each kid individual and see what happened, what are they seeking sensory, or they're like avoiding sensory. So that's 2 type of people, like they have like they're seeking or they're avoiding. So basically there is 2 different things. So it's very important to know what sensitive profile. Even like regular people, they have some sensitivity, right? You don't like certain kind of clothes, you like certain kind of comb. So everybody have sensory. So in this case, for the autistic child, they have sensitive that we need to find out. So that's why there's something triggered them, why they're screaming, why they're yelling, and maybe because the school have so many things, and then the clock is ticking so bad, and then there's so many people with a lot of noises, they cannot even sort the voice of the teacher, the voice of the room, the classmate. Some autistic, they can hear the train miles away. So imagine that those kinds of exposure, I cannot sort, do I talk to you and the whole sounds come in the same intensity. So that is a very hurting, right? Imagine that you hear everything like you have in the horror movie, everything, and they don't even able to speak. So it must be very, very frightening to me. That's why they like to do certain kind of movement, kind of desensitize, or maybe they're moving around to a corner just to feel like I'm safe. I want to do some activity, repetitive pattern to cool me down, because the environment is so much and I cannot stand it. And sometimes they have like problem with their gut too, so they cannot eat something, they cannot touch or eat some certain food, or so there's so many things happen in their body. So yeah, so that's how I do that. So we have like a discovery, and then we do a copious assessment. We do home visit. If you others say, we can send a video, and then we can create a whatever they need, like maybe like simple thing like quiet space, according whatever sensory profile assessment result is. And then we also can do like different things like playroom, or they like number, they like mirrors, so we can do this one and the swing, or maybe we can balance them, for everything. And then a lot of nice stuff that you can do. Especially the bedroom is where they rest, right? You want to make sure the bedroom have things that calm them down. So a lot of things that we can do, even some like recommendation of the sensory toys that available out there. And then this is the project I do when I have my first diagnosis, my son. So this is kind of memory. So I designed a border. So after the projects, the teachers say, "Oh my gosh, like my student all sit still, happy, quiet." I mean, like this is like just simple color change, the blue color in the front, so everybody focus. We change the layout, the locker room in the other side, and then they have like, everything is so clear, so they know the expectation what to do in the classroom. And this is for the high school who is autistic. So the whole school is autistic. They have stuff, and they also have, a spatial room where they can just hit the wall and everything is padded. And so it's very interesting. And then, so this is the teachers like the behavior change and have good time. Teacher can manage the student easy. They motivate to go to class. So, little things can help a lot, even color.
Fabulous.
And then this,
Thank you so much. Thank you,
yeah,
Florencia. This is beautiful. I wish I
but
would
this is
have this
bonus.
in my own house.
Yeah. So yeah, where regular people usually you can go to spa, you can go to the gym, but for the autistic, they cannot talk. They need something special that calm them down, right? So that's why it's very important to have something for them, especially if the parents, have a lot of things to handle and have another sibling. So for the bonus, for the first 10 person who emailed to me, at florencia.com, get a 30 minutes VIP call. So you can ask anything that you want. So that's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. And would you mind stopping the screen share? Oh, there you go. There you go.
I finished?
Wow, so much value. Thank you. Thank you so much. And although this is aimed for children, but I really would love to have a room that I can just sneak in and just be cozy and
Yeah,
quiet.
actually, like a sensory, like everybody, like I went to a seminar a lot. So you just like I just give you a tip. Like if you
Yeah,
like a blue, pick a color blue in one room, or pick a corner that you can read or something like that. Then create a safety space for yourself where you can,
beautiful work.
do whatever you want. Or maybe like meditation room or praying room, little corner that make you happy. Or even like a garden where you can sit and smell the flower. Simple thing for
Yes,
yourself.
yes, amazing. Thank you, Florencia. It was
You're welcome.
beautiful. And this International Day, International Women's Day is happening today, and the celebration doesn't end today. We get to celebrate ourselves every single day. We are having these talks quarterly, so every 4 months we will be having the same kind of meeting and sharing generously with the audience and being passionate about the topics that we spoken about. It's a gift, because we are here to serve others, from self-care to leadership to healthcare, to abundance. We are here to support the women in this world, and sharing with you how we are creating those results in the world and how we can create sustainable results for our businesses as well as for our relationships, and the most important relationship with ourselves, because we are number one. I would love to thank you all for participating. And if you do have any questions, we've gone 15 minutes over, and I would like to ask for your permission for additional 10 minutes. If we have any questions from our audience, I would love you to unmute or share it. For the next couple of minutes, we can answer those questions. It would, and if we can be of service, that would be amazing. And if there is no other questions, perhaps any of the speakers would like to share any final thoughts, and what did you experience on this International Women's Day? I got pancakes from my son. I get to share. And big hugs from all my boys and my daughter. So that was my first win today, and I'm so grateful for so much love in this room.
So amazing. Thank you again. Beautiful shares.
Thank you. Thank you for
We should
Thank
do
you,
a
everyone.
something.
Thank you,
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
So grateful to be with every one of you. And I learned so much. I have like light bulbs in my head, and my heart is cracked wide open. And happy International Day. What a blessing. What a uh, spiritual gathering. And I felt like, the energy from each one of you, the energy from all our ancestors coming together to celebrate with us. May this day bring to each one of you more blessing, more gift, more joy, and more possibility. What else is possible? Have a blessed, beautiful day. Love you, each one of you. Edith, my buddy, love you forever. Have a great, amazing, beautiful Sunday, and let's create magic into the world.
Thank you
Bye. Love
so
you.
much. I just want to take a quick screenshot before we go. Say cheese.
I
Fabulous.
just
Love having
appreciate.
you all
Bye.
and sending you so much love.
Thank you
Thank
all.
you.
Thanks for
Enjoy
Thank
your
having
weekend.
you.
me.
Happy
Thank you.
International
Sunday,
Women's
everyone.
Day.
Post the
Happy Women's
pictures in the
Day.
Have a
WhatsApp.
good one, Edith.
Great to see you, Jamise.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank
Donna,
you.
amazing.
Thanks for everything.